This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with Mappinshire Marbella. The office here today, Frank Warren. A bit dark in here, Frank.
It is, Matt. Is it the lights are not? Yeah, it is a little bit dark. Let's put that one on, get another bit of light. There you go.
That's it. Frank, obviously next week, Copper Box, now being headlined by Fury.
Yeah.
Billy Joe out against Bozak.
Yeah.
So obviously, give us an indication of what that means for him for the summer.
Well, Bill's unfortunately sustained a hand injury, so he's not going to be available to fight until July. So we're looking at a couple of options, and obviously come back to everybody as soon as we made a decision. It's a bit frustrating for Bill, to be quite honest, because we were quite close to making a big fight for him in summer at West Ham, but anyway, not to be.
So talks broken down.
It's not talks broken down. We just can't do it. You don't know he's going to be ready in time. So
it's for that reason.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so we're just waiting to see how his hand responds to treatment.
But Fury does headline next week's show at the Copper Box.
Yeah, he's on.
Fighting for the WBO, I believe, an Intercontinental title. What's he chasing Tyson Fury, Frank?
Well, he's looking to get a ranking. Gets in the rankings and he gets himself up there. And that's, you know, I'm pleased that his first fight for me, or his first fight since we agreed this new deal, that is going to be for a title. So hopefully he comes through it. It's a tough fight for him, but if he comes through it, then it gets him up there and in the mix with everybody, you know, which is where he should be. Very
entertaining press conference last week with Tyson Fury. There is one next week as the pair come head to head the first time, obviously, since that great night in Dusseldorf for Tyson Fury. So that should be quite lively there, Frank.
I think it will be, you know, and as I say, we're looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to it. So that should be it should be quite interesting.
Definitely, and obviously, big fight, 9th of July, obviously on BoxNation. Tyson has got it all to do though, still, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. I mean, you know, he's. It's not going to be easy. You know, I think it's going to be a different Klitschko that comes to fight. It have to be a different one, because if he fights like he did last time, it'd be the same result. He's going to have to come and he's going to have to fight. And he's going to have to put Tyson on the back foot, and that means committing himself. And he's committing himself. That means he might leave himself open, giving Tyson an opportunity to take him out. So we will see. But I think it'd be a totally different fight, and I think that. You know, but I do believe that Tyson he's got a great boxing brain, and I think he can cope with these situations. I think he's a very hard fighter to beat.
But obviously, judging by tweets coming from the Klitschko Twitter, he's excited and he wants to seek his revenge. Obviously. Well,
that's what he wants. I think it becomes a record, doesn't it? If he regains the title, is it the fourth? You know, it means he's held the title 4 times or something like that. God, somebody was telling me whether that's the case or not. But yeah, of course he wants to get revenge, and you know, he was a big favourite to win the last fight. So you know, but it didn't happen. Tyson went out there, did what he had to do. I mean, it was great tactics and done it in great style. You know, it was. I mean, a lot of people. Somebody said about it was boring, but it certainly was not as boring as David Hayes' fight against Valiev, and it was certainly a better opponent than Valiev, that's for sure.
But obviously, Tyson Fury, hopefully, touch wood, comes through the 9th of July. It does open up the possibilities of some huge.
There's lots of fights. Yeah. Whoever wins that, there's big fights out there. There's big unification fights to be made. There's some very entertaining and exciting fights, and that's really, as well, why Fury's being pushed, because you know he's had more fights than Anthony Joshua. He's had 19 fights, and he's going to fight for an Intercontinental title, and that will get him in the mix. He may, you know, and that whole heavyweight scene's come alight, and there's some various fights to be made. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on BoxNation with the in BoxNation with the Povetkin fight against Wilder.
May 21st,
yeah, it's another exciting fight, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. And this heavyweight scene suddenly is, you know, it's got a lot of interest there. There's some, as I've just said, there's some great fights to be made, provided people want to fight each other.
We know that obviously Gennady Golovkin makes his titles defence this week on BoxNation against Dominic Wade in America. Golovkin's still there as an option for Billy Joe?
Certainly is, but you know where they are at the moment, they're not going to make any. And you can understand, they're not going to make any commitment. They're looking for the fight with Alvarez, and Alvarez is fighting Amir Khan on the 7th of May. 15 days after that fight, the winner of that has to either fight Golovkin or vacate the title.
Make a deal for that.
Or vacate. So if they don't make it, they don't make a deal, then you know either Alvarez or Khan will vacate. So there's a few options open there with Bill, and as I say, there's some cracking fights to be made for him as well. But he has no problem fighting Golovkin, and we have had talks, but they can't do anything until they know what the situation is with the outcome of the Amir's fight against Canelo.
Yeah, like you said, if Amir is victorious, which we are all hoping he is, then whether he stays at the weight is a question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you know, there's, as I say, there's some fantastic. I mean, you know, if he don't fight Golovkin, he could fight Bill. Who knows? There's so many different scenarios there. So many good fights to be made.
But you still obviously expect Billy Joe. You've maintained that will be.
I'm a bit gutted for him, and I'm gutted for us really, because we were looking for the big fight in the summer. We booked Wembley Stadium. We looked at West Ham, and the Wembley thing was going to be a big double header, but that didn't come about, and so we moved on to for West Ham. But what are you going to do? He's injured.
June the 4th. Liverpool Echo Arena.
Yeah.
Liam Smith.
Yeah.
We're still waiting news on an opponent.
Should have it done today. The reason we got a problem, nothing down to us, is because of Austin Trout. He's the mandatory. He was ordered by the WBO, and Trout's people have not come back to us. We made various offers, and we keep reading on the social media and whatever that he's fighting Charlo. So we don't know. No one's come back to confirm that, but we have to know by this weekend, and if he doesn't fight Trout, then he'll fight the next available guy that we can get.
Who else is on that bill, Frank Jones? Will it be like the Liverpool regulars?
All the usual guys are on there. Paul Butler will be fighting on there. He'll be having an eliminator for the title. For the title. All of them will be out. We'll have them all out on the show.
Okay. Frank, can you make any comment on Jamie Cox, his situation?
Well, I'm very disappointed. You know, what he told us, what happened. Well, we spent a lot of time and put a lot of investment into him and got him, into a good position. But unfortunately, he's let himself down, and it's not acceptable what he's done. So he's paying the price now. So his career at the moment is on hold. He's in prison, and we'll see what happens when he comes out. But what he's done is ridiculous and totally unacceptable.
I see the board have ordered Liam Williams and Ahmet Patterson.
It's quite an interesting scenario, that, isn't it? So they've ordered it, so we'll be talking to both sides and see where we go with that one. But that's quite a good domestic fight, to say the least.
Yeah, arguably two
well,
two up there.
It's a great division, isn't it?
Country,
with them and with Liam and whatever. It's a cracking division.
Have you had any indication from either team whether they'd be up for, obviously, that fight to happening from either Gary Lockett or from Martin Bowles for Patterson and?
Well, I don't know. As I say, we're talking to them at the moment, and that'll obviously, we've been quite busy, so we'll get that situation sorted out. I should think within the next week or so.
Okay. Anything else is going on at the moment?
Talked about it. Jack Catterall's Joe Hughes on the 30 man. That's
in Bolton.
Look, that's a good little fight. That's not a bad fight, and I think that should be a decent night up there. So I'm looking forward to that one. What else we're going? I see your friend.
My friend.
Your friend made some comments again. I have to call him your friend because he says that you're my friend.
I know.
But you do well out of this. You sort of ask the questions. You get all the hits and all that.
And it's just
response. And
can't show a sense of biasness. So
no, I hear that. But I just think it's
I think he had a dig at your sweep, did he, Frank?
Oh, yeah, I'm terrible. Look at the scruffy side today. Yeah, I'll tell you what. That's a first. But who cares about suits? And who cares about role models? The fella who actually, this is the man who wrote a letter to court for Frankie Gavin saying he was a role model, and the judge said what did he say to the judge? You know, Mr. Hearn says he's a role model. How can he, you know, slagged him off for saying what, calling him a role model. But all that stuff's all rubbish. You know, suits. I know where I get my suits from. I think you know where I get them from. So I don't know where. And I don't think I've had too many problems over the years with the way I dress. Maybe should give his old man some tips. But the bottom line of all of that is, forget suits, forget role models, forget all that. What about the fans? The fans want the fights that I keep banging on about. He's got some fighters, I've got some fighters, and they've moved no further forward. We're trying to make them. And the fans are what count. And that's really the bottom line. So let's try and make these fights that the fans want to see. Sealed bids, however they want to do it, we're here to do business. We're here to make the fights that the fans want. And the fights pay for those tickets at face value. Because I also, all those questions that you asked him, one question he never answered, which was about StubHub. He keeps avoiding his sponsor. He keeps avoiding it. How comes all those tickets keep going on StubHub and they keep going on there for 4 or 5 times the money? That's the question. Don't worry about my suits and role models and everything else. Who earns money out of StubHub? His sponsor. That's what the fans want to know. They want the fights and they don't want to be ripped off for them. They don't want to be paying over the odds for their tickets. They want to be paying the right money. And that is really what boxing's about. Nothing changes. Who cares what music's playing? Who cares what somebody's wearing? Who cares this and that? All they care about is watching the fights and not being ripped off. That's the bottom line.
We saw Errol Spence again on BoxNation.
Yeah, he looked good, didn't he?
Destroy Algieri and immediately call out Kell Brook, notably, and
so
Danny
that'd be
Garcia.
a cracking fight. That's a good fight, and you know, he looked good, Spence. I mean, I think we said in a preview that he was the guy to watch. You know, he didn't do well in the Olympics. I sort of quite liked him, and he done it. I mean, it's quite a demolition job. He just took him apart. Great body shots he was throwing. He's good southpaw style. He was hurting Algieri and he just took him, broke him down and stopped him. He's a bit of a handful. I think him and Kell Brooks is a great fight.
I think the IBF have ordered a final eliminator between him and the number 4, the Russian, whose name I struggle to pronounce, but the number 4 in the IBF. So
that's on the card sometime.
It's on the cards, but his mandatory's not due till the end of December, so, well, to be called.
But that'd go like that. That'd go like that, 6 months away. In the meantime, you know, I'm sure Kell wants to be active, and Kell says he wants to be in big fights. The thing is with this guy, with his Spence, is that he's actually becoming a name. He'll become a name. You know, his next couple of fights, he's going to be up there. There's no doubt about that. But, you know, the fight for Kell Brooks is Liam Smith.
I was just going to come on to that.
It's a great fight. Why shouldn't that fight happen? What's anybody got to lose? You know, it's not the end of the world for the loser. And if Liam wins brilliantly, and I think he will do if he gets beat, you know, as I say, it's not the end of the world. If Kell loses, his title's not even on the line because he'll be coming up a way. So why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you make that fight? It's a great fight for the fans. It's a fantastic fight for the fans, and they'll earn plenty of money, the pair of them.
But you expect to announce Liam Smith's opponent?
Yeah,
shortly?
as I say, it's not. You know, what can we do? It's beyond that. It's absolutely beyond my control. It's frustrating. We worked very hard to get him sorted out, and he was, you know, he was hoping he could fight on the undercard of the Tyson Fury bill, but I don't think that's going to be able to happen. How's
that Tyson Fury undercard going to be? Are you going to have any of your fighters on there? Frank?
They will have one. I will have a fighter on there, but that was determined quite a while ago when we were talking. So we'll see what happens. See how it goes.
Okay, but obviously the rest of the card is.
Well, the whole thing's fallen apart because we was expecting, as I say, Bill to fight, and we had everything worked out. And it's all sort of fragmented now because a lot of that revolved around, who Bill was going to fight, and we were expecting a big fight for him. So we've had to sort of change a few things around, as happens in boxing.
Would it be an idea for Terry Flanagan for his picture on the card?
Yeah, Terry on. He's a Manchester boy.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes an absolute. And he's got a fight, so we'll be sorting him out as well soon, and on what's going on.
Okay. Well, listen, this is a brief one. Even though you have to.
Yeah. So I've got a flight. That's why I'm.
Are you flying club, Frank?
Yeah, me flight. I think I've got to be comfortable, mate.
Yeah.
When you get my age, I've got to have the old thrombosis.
I don't remember Harold Bishop ever dressing like this, to be honest.
Who's Harold Bishop? Anyway, I know who he is.
Don't you know who he is?
I don't
From
know
Neighbours.
Who? God, dude.
Neighbours.
Yeah, I'm sitting watching Neighbours. What time's that on at night? What's that on? 5 o'clock? God, I don't get home that early. I work. I don't live off me, old man. I work. I can't get home at 5 o'clock to watch Neighbours. God, dude, that's intellectually challenging, isn't it? Watching Neighbours.
I didn't know you
that says it all. That's all I need to know. That says it all. Yeah.
All right, well, listen, Frank, we'll catch up with you obviously next week. Big press conference in Manchester next week, and
it's fantastic. It's great for boxing. It's the real. I'm not being disrespectful to Anthony Joshua, you know, I rate Anthony, but this is the real heavyweight title. This is the real one. This is the big one. This is what the fans, you know, want to see. They want to see these fights, and it's a rematch between the two best heavyweights on the planet. The two best heavyweights fighting each other, and that is the sort of things that BoxNation want to be involved with. That's what we want to be doing. That's what we want to be delivering to our viewers, and we work very hard to do that. So let's get this one on, and then hopefully Tyson comes through it, and there'll be another big one for him.
Absolutely. All right, Frank, listen, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. Safe trip wherever you're going, and we'll catch up with you next week.
I'll see you when I'm looking at you.
Thank you very much.
Be good.
Canelo Alvarez is boxing's #1 star. Amir Khan has boxing's fastest hands. Saturday, May 7th.
Hard right hand by Canelo.
Unparalleled power.
Big time first round for Khan.
Unsurpassed speed.
This is my time. Let's do this.
Canelo versus Khan. See it live